It's Joey John Maguire. I'm in my favourite local Wetherspoon watering hole, the Oyster Rooms. That's first floor, top of the escalator, inside Fulham Broadway railway station. That's Fulham Road, Fulham, London, United Kingdom. God, that's a lot to say. Anyway, Joey John Maguire. I'm about to recite the first of two poems I did in the early hours of this morning. One is a long poem about my very first heart attack and how I saw it, and the other one is a love poem for a lady I have been trying to get to go to lunch for a year, who I think very highly of. Anyway, we'll start with this one. I shall record them separately. It's called Another Brush with Death. I've had a few brushes with death, a few close shaves. This was my first heart attack 4 years ago. Another brush with death. This was not the first glimpse I'd been given of my own mortality, nor was it to be my last. And it came suddenly, along with the dull, aching pain, without warning, as if from out of nowhere, which I presume is where death is. It started in my jaw, travelling to my chest, with such intensity to force me to my knees, whilst clutching my heart, and I remember thinking out loud, "Please God, not now, please not now." And very soon I found myself prostrate, lying on the cold floor tiles, sweating profusely from every pore, covered in clammy sweat that was fishy-like, slimy, and my temperature was running hot and cold as my time raced with my heart. Inadvertently, I'd been panicking, gasping and gulping air, but suddenly the panic seemed to go as a calmness set in, which is when I realized my bowels had emptied and I'd wet myself. Death was close. It was time to fight for my life. Previously, in my infinite wisdom, I tied the emergency pull cords, left them all hanging close to the ceiling, out of the way, thinking I'd never need them. But now I was on my knees, about to die through my own arrogant stupidity. I lay there helplessly for what seemed like an eternity, as a distant siren screeched towards me, all the while begging it to come quickly, wishing it nearer, hoping it was my siren on its way to save me. In the ambulance, the dark figure of the paramedic towered above me. Like a child, I asked him, "Am I going to die?" To which he answered assertively, "Not on my shift, you're not a chance," as he plunged the needle into a vein, then vanished for a moment from sight as he banged against the side of the van, as we suddenly broke and turned without warning, then sped on. The cabin flickered as we passed through the dimly lit streets of an early morning London, and I lay in silence, carried along by my siren as the morphine took hold on my brain to calm the situation. An hour later, my life was saved by the professionalism of a caring two-man crew and the advancement of modern technology. I remembered I'd been reciting my favourite poem, Freudian Slip. It had served as a distraction and made them laugh. What a moment to raise the subject of personal persecution, whilst in the throes of my own death, and in the future it would see me laughing too. When the drama was over, my life apparently saved, I glanced to my left to see a black face smiling at me, with his hands gesticulating and mouthing the question, "Was I okay?" It was the ambulance driver. Unbeknown to me, he'd been watching through a window throughout the operation, wishing me to be saved. I gently waved a sort of thank you, and he was gone. And my biggest regret to this day is that I didn't take his name. End of poem. I really wish I had found out his name, because I would have liked to have thanked both of them for saving my life that night.